Hello, good morning. Oh, I can see myself in the background. Hello. I tried making a video before October so I would actually have content to put out this month, but I filmed it in a wrong video file and my video editing app doesn't recognize them as actual videos, so they're all just MP3 files, which is great. So now I'm having to improvise. So we're gonna make a costume today. We're gonna go to Bunnings because I could go to Spotlight, but it doesn't have everything I need, and if I have to go to more than one shop, I'm not doing it. I haven't made a costume in so goddamn long. This is gonna be, look, I'm gonna try and make it a tutorial. We're gonna try, but this creative brain has not been ticking for like a good year and a half. So, which is exactly where I come in. Hello, I'm future Jen post costume making, Jen with better insight into how this project is gonna go, whatever you want to call me. So I did this video in a really stupid way, and that's because I was trying to make the hood seamless, which you can still do. However, it's very, very labor intensive and not quite actually what I wanted to do. So, future Jen here has come to your rescue. Disregard this entire video. This video is just for shits and gigs. But now that I've gone through the process of messing it up and still ended up with something that was actually quite decent, I now have the foresight to be able to tell you how to do it properly. Take all of this with a pinch of salt, man. Like, do not follow what I did. Wish us luck. Time for a shopping montage because I'm awkward at filming in shops and actually talking to the camera. That was it. That was the shopping montage because I completely forgot to film because I forgot what I was doing. I'm very tired now though, so I'm gonna have lunch, recharge, then we're gonna get into the tutorial. Otherwise none of this is gonna make sense. It's probably not gonna make sense anyway, but I'm trying to give it the best shot. Okay, it's much later, but I've got the fabric. I ended up getting 1.5 meters at 1.80 meters length. Yes. So, what I'm trying to do is, obviously I'm going to make like the Oogie Boogie like hood, but then I kind of want it to have like a cool little neck piece, kind of like an Assassin's Creed looking thing. I don't have a pattern, so I'm just going to be making that up. I'm going to do one layer Hessian? I'm gonna do one layer of this, and then I'm gonna do a lining layer, purely because it's actually itchy as shit, because it's literally straw. So to start doing my pattern, I just lay flat a hoodie that I already had and liked the size of, trace that out, and then once I had that pattern, I just made it bigger in the shape of Oogie Boogie's hood based on references I'd seen. Okay, this hood is huge, but I kind of want that, because obviously we want it to be able to like drape over our shoulders, like I'm kind of going for that huge hood vibe. I don't know if it's too big, but also I don't know if I actually have enough fabric to redo it if it is. So we're kind of just going with it. By the way, if you are actually copying this and you don't want to just cut it like I'm about to do, a normal person would make this out of like some scrap fabric, pin it together, see if it's the right size. But we're just gonna go for it on our main fabric because the second option takes too long. Okay, now we can pin it together. Okay, so I pinned it together and tried it on, and funny enough, it was huge. I've drawn a much smaller, basically this bit just kind of flops and like falls over, so I've drawn a much smaller like hood bit, and I am just gonna straight up cut it, because once again, balls to the wall, let's go. Well, you know what they say, always cut bigger, because you can't cut smaller. That's not the saying, but what? Okay, awesome, that is so much better. Next. So like I said, I wanted this to be like an Assassin's Creed hood, so obviously it's quite like a big thing. So I'm gonna try and make like a neck piece that kind of covers my face because I want it to be a little bit cool. I don't know how to do that. I think what I'm going to do is just make a big rectangle that's double the height so that it can like scrunch in on itself, but I'm gonna have to do some Googling. After I tried on the hood again and it seemed to be the right size, I lay it out flat along the rest of the Hessian. I still don't know how to say that word. And this is how I got the length of my neck piece. Oh, look at me actually showing you what I'm doing. I also didn't have a tape measure, so what I'm actually doing is using this buckle to figure out how thick I wanted it to be and to draw the straight lines, but yeah, this is the neck piece. Okay, now that I have my pattern pieces, it is time to cut the lining. The lining is just gonna be made out of whatever the fluff I have. I did it, the lining is cut. So now what we're gonna do is sew those two bits together, each individual side of the hood, but I don't want the seam like in the front. It's just that center seam that I don't really care about. So yeah, so each lining to the Hessian, right sides together, flip it inside out as you normally would. It doesn't matter where your flip point is. just as long as it's not in the front. See, okay, that's where I messed up, because actually originally I did care about that center seam, and then some way halfway through this I didn't care about it. So you literally can just cut the 4 pieces, sew them all together, and flip that whole thing inside out. I don't know why I did it. Okay, so this part you don't actually have to do. I'm just being extra because I can't do anything simple. So you could just leave it as the assassin's hood and just like clip it together in the middle. That's perfectly fine. However, I'm doing a whole like neck biz thing going on. You'll see in the post. Anyway, if you're doing that, it's just a giant rectangle, but leave the entire bottom open, which is just one of the long sides of the rectangle. So, as you can see, I stitched everything twice, you know, to make sure it's like really, really in there. I put the lining on the wrong side of the hessian, so now I have 2 left sides of a hood. Don't do that! So instead of trying to fix it and like unpick it all, I'm gonna cut another lining, cut this lining off, and then stitch it on the right side. Okay, once you've, you know, officially destroyed your office and your phone's dying, so this is the only angle that you can get, you're gonna sew both halves together. Oh yeah, and once you've also made, you know, 2 different halves. So this should be pretty like substandard to sew together if you have an iron. However, I don't have an iron to make these seams, you know, flat. So I have to hand stitch it, which I think will be okay anyway, because I mean, a lot of the Oogie Boogie costumes have like big stitching and whatever, which is what I'm gonna do anyway. So it should be fine.
Well, what have we here? Santa Claus, huh? Ooh, I'm really scared. So you're the one, everybody.
So we're here now. My whole intent with doing this project was obviously to make something, draft a pattern from that, and be able to post it for you lovely folk to be able to make this job easier for you. However, I cannot do that. But anyway, we have the final form, and honestly, it's okay. So now what this tutorial is turning into is how to make something look good with paint. So we're gonna paint all the eyes and all the stitch marks and all that sort of jazz, and yeah, we're just gonna really rough this thing up but make it look good. First step of stage 2, I actually ended up sewing on the eyes because I didn't think that they were gonna show up as much. Now what you can see me doing is taking a small brush right along that edge, then taking a dry fluffy brush and smoking it out. This is how I'm able to create artificial dimension. I also ended up just painting on the stitches in the front because I didn't have any thread that would work. Now with just the fluffy brush and a tiny bit of paint, I did the dimension around the eyes and also around the back of the hood, which I'm sorry you can't really see. I didn't realize the sun was blocking me. The cops do the best they can. They pull the axe at your face and say,